start for Coach Jastreb's team. There's a penalty marker here on, I believe, RCC for a late hit on the Mountie holder. I believe this will be assessed on the kickoff. But how about that start for the Mounties? They drive 75 yards, exactly what you want to see out of the Mount SAC offense.
Establish the run game. I counted 5 running plays on that drive, courtesy of Omarius Tolbert, the leading rusher for the Mounties, who's done the best job out of the committee that they have at running back, and just really setting the tone here early on in the first quarter. And not only that, but it opened up the passing game for Allen, found Aaron Vaughn's pretty much wide open in the end zone there.
Well, we await the kickoff from Alberto Villarreal. We'll see the Tigers on offense for the first time tonight. I guess the penalty was not assessed on the kickoff because right now the ball rests at the 35. So it must have been a penalty that was declined by Coach Jastreb. They took the extra point. Why wouldn't you? Never take points off the board. And Villarreal, he'll be kicking off from his own 35. Up 7-0 are the Mounties with 11:18 left to go opening quarter. Chris Sylvester alongside Brian Tabajay here on the Mountie Football Radio Network. Back deep to receive for Riverside, it's Alejandro Marenco, the transfer from Fullerton College, and Tremel Davis. And it'll be a short kick here, and Davis from his own 25-yard line. He'll get pushed out of bounds right around the 30, and that's where Nicholas King and this RCC offense will try to respond down 7.
And I was talking to our broadcasting partner there, Nick Rice, before the game, and he kind of mentioned that Jawan Thomas, the freshman, 11 receptions, 129 yards, and a touchdown. He feels like this is Thomas's game tonight to really have a breakout game. He says he's due. We'll see what King and company can do here on their first opening drive.
Jawan Thomas did not play last week against LA Harbor. He's a transfer from SDSU. Riverside, they'll come out in a 3-wide set. The lone back, Denzel Foster. He'll get the carry here. Lots of room near side of the field, and Foster makes the cut out to the 38-yard line, and a nice gain on first down. The first play on offense for RCC. It'll go for 8 yards to the Tiger 38.
And you got to believe that Foster's hungry for a big game tonight as well.
Well, I think Nicholas King tried to move a little bit too quickly there, and looks like RCC going to get flagged for a false start penalty. I
was saying there, Chris, that you got to feel like Denzel Foster, their running back who on that first carry had a nice gain of 8 yards, and you got to feel like he's hungry because he missed out on a very important game last week, and also this is another game that'll set the tone the rest of the season. I believe it was on.
It looked like it was against Riverside, but the penalty was against Mount SAC on an illegal substitution.
Mount SAC got to clean that up, averaging
Absolutely.
almost 13 flags a game.
So that'll move the chains for RCC to their own 43. Trailing 7-0 are the Tigers. 10:53 left to go opening quarter. 3-wide set and another flag, and this time I'm almost positive it's a false start penalty against Riverside.
Yeah, back and forth we go here in the first quarter, and we mentioned, Mount SAC on the season has had 88 penalties, and you say that Riverside's committed just as many per game, so just around the 13 mark, and we're right on pace here in the first quarter.
These teams rank number 1 and 2 respectively in just about every category, including penalties as well.
That's not one category you want to lead.
Absolutely not. So after the false start, 1st and 15 for RCC. Handoff Foster, and he gets back across the 40-yard line around the 41 for a pickup of 3. Denzel Foster coming into this one. He's a 5'10", 200-pound sophomore running back. He's a big back, but he's very quick as well. 81 rushing attempts for 490 yards, 2 touchdowns so far this season coming into this one. 2nd and 11 here for RCC at their own 41. 3-wide set for the Tigers, 2 aligned to the far side of the field. Foster once again the lone back. King will drop back to pass, and King just gets it away at the last second, and it's caught by Isaac Whitney. But Whitney's tackled after just a pickup of 1. How in the world did Nicholas King get off that football?
I don't know, but the Mounties brought the pressure on that last down and really setting the edge on both sides. And right up the middle, the Mounties got to him. That was Elisano Aluesi. And really putting the hit on King. Barely got that ball away there, Chris.
I don't know how he did it. It was only a pickup of 1, but it was a spectacular 1-yard reception. 3rd and 10 now. The Mounties can force a punt with a stop. Play action. King looks for Whitney, and it's incomplete. Taekwon Glass was there to bat it away, and RCC going to have to punt.
Nice defensive stop there for the Mounties as their RCC opening drive is shut down immediately after trading some penalties there. They ultimately can't convert, and King, after looking so, I'll call it smart, I guess, really dumping that ball off to Whitney, but nonetheless held him to a 3 and out.
Anthony Zamora on to punt it away for RCC. Aaron Vaughns stands in his own 15 to get it. Mounties nearly blocked the punt. It's a high end-over-end kick that'll take a hop-on out of bounds inside the 20 at around the 17-yard line. That's the 11th time in 21 tries that Zamora's pinned it inside the 20. The Mounties, they have a very good punter in Christian Fulham, but Zamora's quite a stud as well.
Yeah, and those are key players, key plays in the game where you can pin down opposing offenses in their own red zone, so to speak, 20 yards and in. But if you can pin them anywhere in there, it's a good chance that your defense can kind of pin them in there and really put pressure on the opposing offense.
Mounties will start at their own 17. They lead 7-0 with 9:21 left to go, opening quarter from Wheelock Stadium on the campus of Riverside Community College. Mounties will come out in a 3-wide set. Man in motion is Tredante Hill. Allo going to keep. Tries to find some room to the far side of the field, but he's taken down in the backfield for a loss of 5. Justin Allo, that was a designed running play, and that went nowhere. RCC's defensive line all over it.
Yeah, just heads-up play by them. That was LaGrone on the stop. The sophomore 6'3", 210 out of Texas. Just found Allo in the backfield after he decided to keep that play, or keep it to himself to rush.
3-wide set once again here for the Mounties. Allo going to drop back to pass. He's pressured again, and he's going down in the backfield again.
And you just talked about how important the punters are for each team. Really feeling the pressure there was Allo, and if you kind of try and throw the ball away as he's feeling pressured, there's a chance that these opposing defenders can really jump up and catch that ball. So he had to hang on there and lost another 5 yards.
So now the Mounties backed up inside their own 10 at their own 8. 3rd and 20. It was a very crucial punt by Anthony Zamora. 3-wide set here for the Mounties, 2 backs. 2 wide outs line to the near side of the field. Play action. Allo has a little bit more time than usual. Dump it off Gilchrist. He'll try to find some room across the 15, and he's hit hard at the 16-yard line. Still 11 yards short of the first down marker, and RCC with a big defensive stop. The Mounties will be punting from inside their own 10 here.
Yeah, that was just a simple crossing route for Gilchrist to get that ball from Allo, and didn't find he was missing one more block to really get some potential first down yardage, and unfortunately he was dropped out of bounds well short of the marker.
So 3 and out for the Mounties. Fulham stands at his own 1 to boot this one off. He'll roll out to his right, and it's not a good punt.
He just shanked it.
A very, very rare poor punt by the Mountie punter Christian Fulham, and RCC, they're going to start at the Mountie 35-yard line here. So you talked about how big punting was. It helps RCC, and it hurts Mount Sac.
And unfortunately for Fulham, he's been phenomenal all
Absolutely.
season long. And right after he got rid of that punt, he kind of just stood there and put his hands on his hips and really was just shaking his head. You know, unfortunately for Fulham and the Mounties, they're going to have to really buckle down on defense here and protect this lead.
And I think if you can hold RCC to a field goal here, that'd be a victory for your defense.
Absolutely.
The Tigers will come out and start at the Mountie 35.
Maybe a pick, fumble.
That'd be nice. The snap is back. King will look to throw under a lot of pressure. He'll take a shot towards the end zone, but it's way over the head of his intended target. He was going for Michael Stallone in the back of the end zone, but it fell incomplete.
Stallone on the season, 17 receptions, 185 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Stallone, the slot man, he's already eclipsed his numbers from 2013. Last season, he only caught 1 touchdown, 4 so far this season. Maybe if King would have thrown the ball a little bit more on target that time, he would have had number 5. 2nd and 10 instead for RCC. King has time, pressured, will throw over the middle, and it's caught by Denzel Foster out of the backfield, and Foster is down to the Mountie 26-yard line for a pickup of 9. It'll bring up 3rd and short for RCC. So Denzel Foster, who actually has more receiving touchdowns than rushing touchdowns, catches that one for 9. 4 wide set here for the Tigers. Into the game is Chris Anderson, the lone back. King pressured, dumps it off, and the pass is caught by Michael Stallone. It'll be good enough for an RCC first down. They needed 1, they got 2 to the Mountie 24, and RCC, they moved the chains.
Yeah, and, the defense, they were playing man coverage there, and it was just a little dump-off pass right over the middle, and fortunately got that small yard that they needed for the Tigers.
1st and 10 for the Tigers at the Mount SAC 24. 7-0 Mounties, 6:33 left to go opening quarter. 3 wide set here for King. He'll drop back to pass, pump fake. Stallone to the near side of the field, but he's going nowhere. He's taken down in the backfield for a loss of 2. A convoy of Mounties were in there to get him, led by Chris Waldenberger, the linebacker.
Yeah, Waldenberger just did a great job meeting him right in the flat, 6'3", 205. Very fast is Waldenberger, and he made sure he had no room to go, and Stallone.
So that's a tackle for loss for Chris Waldenberger. It's his 3rd tackle for loss on the season, and before the snap, a flag will fly in.
It'll be a false start.
False start against RCC. So they'll move back to their own 31. It'll bring up a 2nd and 16 for the Tigers. Penalty number 3 against the home team.
As long as it's not the Mounties, should be okay. We'll be okay.
2nd and 16 for RCC. 4 wide set, 3 aligned to the far side of the field. The lone receiver to the near side of the field is the highly touted recruit, Isaac Whitney. He's one-on-one with Taekwon Glass. King going to keep here. Has some room across the 25-20, 15-10, and he's tackled at the 9. So right there you see the running ability for Nicholas King, and it picks up 20 yards to move the chains for the Tigers.
And thank God Taekwon Glass and Whitney were done battling each other, because Glass just moved right off of him and met King right at the 10-yard line.
1st and goal RCC. Trying to knot this thing up at 7. 5:25 left to go opening quarter. 3 wide set. The snap is back. King will look to throw. Dump off a screen pass in the backfield to Stallone. And Stallone able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. But the Mounties there once again. They sniff it out. No gain for RCC. It'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Sniffed it out indeed. That was Christopher Solomon, the 6'2", 210 sophomore out of West Covina. Nice job at making sure that Foster was met in the flat for no gain.
Solomon, the bounce back transfer from the University of Nevada. 3 wide set here on a 2nd and goal. The snap will go over the head of King. He has to corral it. Still on his feet trying to create. Will lob one up out of bounds, incomplete. And it'll bring up 3rd and goal. Slow to get up for the Mounties is number 50, Skylar Krall, who returned a block punt for a touchdown last week, but
he's getting
high snap. And now RCC with a 3rd and goal from the Mountie 11. They can hold him to a field goal here.
Let's hope they do. Krall right now getting subbed out, so he's kind of looking over to the sideline. Good thing is he walked over himself or ran over himself. So.
Well, the Mounties are having all types of trouble with substitutions so far defensively. Anderson, the lone back here with King on a 3rd and goal. Play action. King will take a shot towards the end zone. Whitney, incomplete. He overshot him. No flag. Whitney wanted one, but he won't get it. And it'll bring up 4th and goal at the Mount SAC 11. And off trots the offense. On trots Jimmy Camacho to try to put points up on the board for the Tigers. Camacho so far this season, he hasn't missed a field goal inside 38 yards. His 3 misses were from 53, 49, and 43. This one about 29 yards. But the Mounties have blocked a couple of kicks. This one is up, and this one is good. So RCC gets on the board with 4:39 left to go in the opening quarter. The Mounties, though, that's a victory for their defense. RCC, they started at the Mountie 35, but could only come away with 3 points. The Mounties lead 7-3, and now they're going to get the football back on the offensive side.
Yeah, and, a great job by the Mountie defense.